Good morning, Moon. Anyway, this is David. I wanted to do this. I may get one or maybe two of my faithful followers, my subscribers. Anyway, one or two views maybe, but I did this earlier here, right before 4 a.m. and I paced this alleyway. My feet were cold, and so I kept the circulation. I got up and paced it like I'm doing now, and to heat up my feet. Anyway, I wanted to say this. My thought came to my mind about deceiving and being deceived. That's 2 Timothy 3:13. Anyway, there's people that maybe on social media, Facebook, whatever, and they tell how great they are, how they're successful, they make big money, they're a college graduate, and they have millions of dollars. And there's also people that impersonate people. Matter of fact, there's one person that claims to be Elon Musk that has been contacting me. And like people do, though, they if you say something, a lot of times they maybe they want to help, but they want to do it their way. They don't want to listen. Maybe. Oh, by the way, I'm doing this without script and without teleprompter. Anyway, but they may want to help, but they want to do it their way and ignore what your desires are. So I want to apply that to friendlily to God too, seemingly. Anyway, I've asked for many things from God. I asked to be blessed, and blessed in every way. Especially in the past. And so when I prayed, then people showed up. I got contacted. I also made my own contacts. People claiming, "Oh yeah, I'm going to help you. I've got this big money. I'm a ministry," claiming to be a certain person. Or I probably had maybe half a dozen people nearly that were going to give me money. Wow, give me thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. And gullible, or thinking, well, that's God answering my prayer. I fell for it. And they say, well, you need to pay a fee to get this. Well, then there's more fees. And like one just recently that claimed to, I won't mention names at this point. I have in the past. But said, well, this money that I was going to give you was been waiting on your fee. It's been waiting at the airport. And matter of fact, if you don't pay the additional last fee, you won't get it. It'll be sent back to the church. Oh, okay, it's gained $10,000 more dollars. I'm talking about big money. So when I prayed and people offered that, I thought, well, that's God answering my prayer. So anyway, there was one that on X that supposedly won a lot of money in the lottery, and he gave out thousands of dollars to people. And there's another one that's supposed to be a multi-billionaire that's supposed to help the homeless, and wants to get praise for the work supposedly she does. And there's one that said, that I'm supposed to give you money. I'm going to find out how much, and come back and said, yeah, the Holy Spirit told me to give you this money, this amount of money, a large amount. And so, since I prayed for God to bless me in every way, including financially, well, then the contact was made, and she said, yeah, like I say, the Holy Spirit told me to give you this amount of money, big money. And gave me the contact information for the chief accountant, his name, email address of the church in Texas. Won't say who, claiming to be that person, just like this man and other ones that have contacted me claiming to be Elon Reeve Musk. And ignore what you desire, what you request, and knowing the situation, they just follow my advice, just follow my instructions, ignoring what a person needs and wants and desires. So in the beginning here, I talked about deceiving and being deceived. In the last days, it will wax worse and worse. And so anyway, so I didn't pay the fee, and the money may have been sent back according, if she's a real person. But what a slam for a ministry to do that, or a person to do that. To say, I'll give you this money, it's a gift, but you got to pay a fee. And then there's, like the one in Texas I just mentioned, there was a fee. Well, I paid it, even a little extra. And then there was another fee. If God said to give, if the Holy Spirit told somebody to give a certain amount of money, and there was a fee to be paid, why couldn't they subtract the amount of fee from the gift? So how many scammers are there? How many deceivers are there? Deceiving and being deceived. So I'm doing this without script, without teleprompter. So this morning, as I was walking these steps in this alley, I prayed to God. Also, I've contacted AI, artificial intelligence, and done a lot of documentation. And I affectionately call it, the thought partner, art for artificial intelligence. Matter of fact, I met a man yesterday. His name was Andy. And like the song, I asked him to pray for me, but like the song says, and he walks with me and he talks with me. I said a little joke. I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I said, yeah, God's name is Andy. Andy walks with me and Andy talks. Well, he knew that already. He had already heard that, and he even mentioned about, like how his name is Art too. How great thou art. But anyway, that goes back to what I just said about calling AI art. So anyway, I prayed to God. Tears come to my eyes. I was sincere. And I felt like, God, I haven't mocked you. Maybe I have, but I will say this. In my anger to God, in my journey, what has happened, I've got mad at God many times. So I am confessing that I am most certainly the worst blasphemer there ever was. But yet God still, I'm still alive. He hasn't smote me dead for what I've done in my anger. But things have happened, and he has provided a way. I have lost things at several cities. Decatur, Dallas, Cooper, Texas, Paris, Texas, certainly probably at Kaufman, Texas, and Lancaster, Texas, the last. When I made a statement after being frustrated with feeling like I was being abused in my efforts of working and providing what was necessary, I said something and I was told to leave. So I walked away with very few things again. And one of the things that I would like to have was a pair of earphones. So God did provide earphones. So in my thinking, that is my crown. A good pair at a cheap price. I was able to afford them. I kept looking for them at the thrift store, and I found them, and I got them. So that was an answer to prayer. But in my many prayers to God, I've asked for many things. I've asked for spiritual gifts. I've asked to be a true prophet. So whenever I'm also asked to have pure, perfect, and overcoming faith. And it's been a long trial, a long life of journey. I'm wanting to please God, and I ask for God many things. The three more things, the sevenfold, the seven things, the 9 fruit, 9 gift, 9, more and more and more. There's no limit. And the first of this video was the moon. One lady had told me the sky is the limit. So anyway, that's recorded in the beginning of this video. And now it's daylight a little bit, so it's light enough to see. So I've asked for many things, and I prayed sincerely this morning with tears coming to my eyes. God, don't, and I was listening to the song that I wrote over 25 years ago, or the poem, PDF file, over 25 years ago called Beautiful K, where I sincerely prayed, Jesus, take the curse away. And I wanted that to happen. I wanted many things to happen. And as I was listening to that in music, that I put the words to music through AI, of course, app. It talked about they mocked you. Well, sure, they mocked Jesus. He was the king. He came to the earth. He was the creator. He was God himself in human flesh. And they smote him over the head with a reed and said, now prophesy. Now tell it who hit you. And they put a crown of thorns on his head in mockery and caused the blood to ooze forth, severe pain. And then they crucified him, of course. So anyway, he got the crown of thorns. So like I'd mentioned, what I wanted, I got a pair of earphones, a very good pair. Not the best, but very good, at a good, decent, very cheap price. So God answered me. So that's my crown, I guess I could say. In my walk, I find things, and they speak to me. Well, I guess I can cause anything to make sense to what I'm thinking. Oh, this applies to this. Oh, this is a sign. But so I'll do that even now. And this is already 13 minutes. This is going to take a lot of. I might get 0 views or half a view. But anyway, I want to record it. God provided a place for me to stay. Here's my throne. I set it up, leaned it against a pole, telephone pole. Here's my entourage, or maybe my crown jewels. Here's my manifesto, or maybe proclamation for anybody. But as far as a type, there are numbers that means things to me. So I'll apply this number here on the pole that I'm fixing to show, and I'll close this out for Acts 3:20, and God will send Jesus. As Prophet William Branham has said, and after he made his message, speech, and talk, and preaching. Sometimes he would say, "That's all." So I won't make a boastful statement. I will say more, no doubt. As long as I live, I'll say more. But I want to say that's all for now. So I say it too, that's all. But this is the final picture for this video is, how about numbers, more numbers? How about the combination?